Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. Y'all, I really want to discuss why black women need to be careful about demonizing the police, okay? And the one and only reason is because we need them, and that's period, okay? Sometimes we pride ourselves in being the most educated group, like this, that, and the third. We so smart, we so strong, we handle everything, we're resilient, we're beautiful, we're melanated, we're all of these things. Black women are so smart and so stupid at the same time, and I have been smart and equal parts smart and equal parts stupid too. But I'll just say this, so I don't want anybody to be messy. Right now I don't have a huge following, but my following is rapidly growing. But this may get more popular amongst black women in YouTube, maybe even a year from now when I'm not even thinking about this and don't even remember it. So I'm gonna try not to be messy. But I've been seeing circulations on YouTube and even on CNN and things where black women are advocating for the abolishment of police. I feel like Fred Sanford sometimes when he's telling Elizabeth, I feel sometimes I just shake my head when I listen to some black women speak. Super duper educated black women that went to the best universities, Ivy League schools, the best colleges, just smart women that just don't think. They just don't or they think so much that they overthink the most simplistic concepts on the planet. Listen, why do black women think they would be okay in a society, in an America where there's no police? Black women need white police officers to save you from black men. There's no nice way to put it. Yes, black women die from police. We discuss, on my page, I've talked about Breonna Taylor. So many, Sandra Bland, Corinne Gaines. So many black women have been killed by the hands of the police. But friends, it is a fraction of how many people, black women, die by the hands of somebody they know, by the hands of, not even necessarily die, but just abuse. Children, little black girls getting touched and molested. How many of you, I have friends, relatives that have been molested, RAPED, that have been touched, all of these things at the hands of people that they know, and their family don't even support them. Their family tell them that they're lying. Their family tell them that, but don't blame other black men for it. Their family tell them that, pray about it. Their family just make excuses, sweep it under the rug. What would you do without police? Really sit and think, black women, about what I saw a few clips on CNN, and I watched a video here on YouTube. I'm not gonna name any names. Please don't name any names. If you know, you know. If you've seen it, you've seen it, and you know. But I recently watched a YouTuber that I frequently watch. I love watching intellectual, commentary, especially from black women. And they were discussing abolishing, why police should be abolished. And why, black people should think about living in a space, in an America where we aren't policed by white people. Listen, let's think logically about this, guys. Like, ladies, let's think logically about this. Do you honestly think black men and women are capable of keeping you safe? Do you think black men are capable of policing you in this very moment today? No. If you are confused at any point, if you need the answer, if you don't know what the answer is, no. A black woman is killed every 19 hours. Okay? Black people don't have the infrastructure. Black people don't have the unity it would take to keep each other safe and to keep black women and children safe. We have police right now, and black women and children go vastly unprotected, especially in comparison to other race of women. And I had the pleasure of tuning into Chrissy's live with Kendall St. Charles and Crystal and Karazin from the Pink Pill. And they were just saying that essentially there was a black woman in the media who was trying to advocate for, Kendall St. Charles was discussing, she showed a clip from her private group of a black woman who was advocating on the national news for us to think about not being policed by white police officers, and I guess, be policed by black people, or just not have police altogether. And essentially it would, and I think Crystalline and her kind of brought up the example of Indian reservations, because Indian reservations, certain things you can't do is separate from the rest of society. Like, for an example, you can't repossess cars. You have to have permission to repossess cars on Indian reservations. You can't just arrest people. You can't just, it's a bunch of things you can't do on the soil of an Indian reservation or Native American reservation and Native American lands and things. So if there was a place like that for black people, how many of y'all would actually want to live there? I certainly wouldn't. Please get me far, far away, in a land far, far away from that. And I really think that those of us black women that are divested, we really have to separate ourselves. Typically, even if we don't want to, we kind of have to separate ourselves from other black women until they can wake up, until they're ready to hear the messages, because that is dangerous. That is extremely dangerous. I want nothing to do with a society that don't have police officers. Listen, in a perfect world, maybe in the Garden of Eden, black people would be able to police each other, but this ain't the Garden of Eden, okay? So I really need black women to think about this logically, because I want white government, whoever, I want them to understand that there are a large enough sector of black women who do not agree with this foolishness, okay? Black women will not be safe. Black children are not. Do you see how unprotected we go as of now? How everything is swept under the rug to protect black men? Like R. Kelly, everybody, people, black women and men will call you everything. They will call you any and everything when you say something that's not in a positive light about a black man. Even if a black man could slap you in the face, if you are a black woman and you walking down the street and you see a black man slap a black woman and you go to defend her, that black woman will turn around and cuss you out and call you all types of bees and hoes and everything else. Call you out of your names 10 ways over. That's the toxicity that's in the black community, and I don't want anything to do with it. Listen, Black people like to assume that you don't have, no, black men hate you, black men not attracted to you, black men, you don't have a father, da 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 da. No, I have a wonderful father. I have wonderful brothers. I have nephews. Those are my babies. My father, my nephews, my brothers, my uncles, my cousins, that don't got nothing to do with a random man up the street. Because the random man up the street think the same thing. I don't have nothing to do with his mother. He don't look at me and see his mom. He don't look at me and see his sister. He don't look at me and see his cousin. He don't look at me and see his niece. He look at me and see some random black woman. And I'm returning that energy, okay? We're all a sum of our own personal experiences, and that makes us who we are. If I used my total experiences with the police as what's law, nothing I've ever seen, nothing on TV, on social media, wherever, I would have absolutely no issue with the police, okay? Nobody enjoys getting tickets. Nobody enjoys the police policing them. Nobody enjoys being policed by anyone, but that's their job. And of course, they don't always do it correctly. And good police are overshadowed by bad ones. And when good police don't police bad ones, y'all all look bad, okay? We understand this, so we're moving on. Police have always been polite to me. Yes, as a black person in America, with everything that I've consumed, everything that I've heard about the police and being black and everything, of course, that, you know, that does affect the way I feel and the way I looked and the way I interact with police. You know, and of course that affects the way I see police officers. But yes, I have those feelings of being uncomfortable. Yes, I have those feelings of, oh my God, is like this gonna be the moment I experience this huge thing? But I haven't. And the police, even when I was in some shenanigans, okay, the police have always been polite to me. The police have always been extra, and some have even gone above and beyond to be even sweet and to show care and be soft towards me. That is my experience. So if I went, and I understand that not all black women have that experience, but I'm also not from the hood. I'm not from the ghetto. I'm by no stretch was raised with a silver spoon or raised in wealth or anything. You know, by money standards, we were probably poor, but I wasn't raised in poverty. And a lot of poverty is also a mindset, and I wasn't raised in that either. So I did have a bit of a different life. But that being said, if I use my experience, what issue would I have for the police? If somebody tried to attack me, I'm gonna have to call the white police officer. As a black woman, I can't lie, and my feelings are valid. If I was in trouble, if something happened to me, if a white man or a black man or a Hispanic man or an Asian man, whoever, if I was in a public space and some man was threatening me, I don't necessarily believe, I don't at this time, and for majority of the time, I don't feel like black men would rush to defend me if I don't know them. If it's not a black man that I don't know and have a relationship with, I don't think that they would defend me. So when black women feel this way, nobody gets to invalidate that based off of sharing the same skin complexion as somebody, sharing the same ethnicity, sharing the same race, whatever. You don't get to invalidate my experience. You don't get to invalidate my feelings just because you may have stood up for somebody once, one time, whenever. So black women really need to think about this. Black women really need to be selfish, because at the end of the day, you can use your femininity to get yourself out of certain situations, even with white men. Okay, I've done it. I've used tears to get out of getting a ticket from a police officer, black and white. Okay, I've even acted like a spoiled brat with a police officer. You know, so black women, you can set yourself apart, but a lot of that does come from where you are in life. A lot of that comes from, you know, if you get pulled over in the hood versus you get pulled over in, you know, a nicer neighborhood, the interactions are going to be different. They just are. Even if you get pulled over in a nice neighborhood and, you know, the cop pull you over because he don't think you should be here or he don't think you can afford it, he's still not gonna come at you in this, most of the time, he's still not gonna come at you in the same manner he would if you were in the projects, let's say. Okay, so it does affect where you are, and that's where what I was trying to say in my last video comes into play. When as a single woman, you can pull, before you have children, you can pull yourself out of situations when you have children. But if you don't have children, it's a lot easier, and you can, you know, get a different experience for yourself and create a better life for you and yours. So if black women want to, you know, have a low quality of life, if you do what you want, I am never gonna tell anybody what to do. I'm gonna give you tools that you can use to create a better life for yourself. Whether you use them, that's on you. You can choose to do with them what you may. But you don't get to then say that you didn't play a role in your child having a slow start to life, or having unnecessary roadblocks in the way because of a choice that you made. You don't get to absolve yourself from responsibility. So my entire platform and what I say is to get black women to understand that you can't control what other people do, but there are many, many things that you can control as a woman. But you have to make decisions as an individual for your life today. But in this particular video, they dodged the question like nobody's business. They never once gave a solid answer to the host's questions on, well, what do you say to black women about how they will be safe? How will black women and children be safe if there's no police force? They didn't have an answer, because we won't be safe. Saying that you already aren't safe is not an answer, it's not a solution. And black women need solutions. And I can't sit and, you know, break things down for every person like you're a toddler. You just have to keep up. I'm not teaching a 5-year-old how to read. I can't break down every single syllable for you. Some things are common sense, and you have to come in with logic to be able to grasp the message and apply it. Let's take the video where the girl and her friend was, you know, running, they were exercising, and the black guy started harassing them and threatening them and calling, and they had to run into the hotel and get the hotel staff to lock the door. And you can see a white man standing on the side, on the side of the pole, not getting into it. Do you want that to be to the 100th power? Because a lot of white people do have this feeling of, I'm not gonna get into black folks' business because I don't want to be accused of anything. So what do you think would happen if there was no police? You think people are just gonna come run to save us when they already don't do it? At least the police have to show up. Even when the black family was brawling at Disney World, a white man intervened when the black guy was hitting his own girlfriend and they were fighting the women. A random white man left his family to protect the black woman, a couple of white men, and the white man choked the guy out to get him. No, a black man didn't show up. Now, I don't know how many black men were in the park, but the very black men that were with them, that should have been protecting them from any kind of threat, they are the threat. And like 2 or 3 white men intervened and choked the man out because he was acting so ravenous. Sometimes non-black men do intervene on our behalf, even when they're not in a romantic relationship with us. So my thing is, imagine a world where we didn't even have that. Because if you live in a space like they mentioned, like an Indian reservation, you're totally off limits. And in case you guys don't know, Native American women are the second most unprotected women. Native American women are the second most abused, the second most neglected with medical care, all of those statistics that we know about black women, how unsafe it is for us to give birth and things like that. Native American women are the ones that's right behind us. Use that as a cautionary tale. Yes, we are black. We aren't Native American. So in some form, we're the exact opposite of white people. So we are going to be subjected to, and we were also the ones in slavery. So we are going to be subjected to things that non-black people of color aren't subjected to. But they are the most, they experience a lot of things at almost the rate that we do. It's not more. We still lead on being the most unprotected woman, but they're second, okay? So it's not a good look, and black women have to think logically. Sometimes it's simple. Sometimes the solution is simple and it's not complicated. And intellectuals want to complicate a very simple issue. That's all that I have for this video. I really want you guys to think about these things. You know, hit the notification bell if you would like to be notified whenever I upload new videos. Please subscribe, share my videos, you know, that you love. Share them with your friends, share them with all the black women you know. Like and subscribe. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. I hope you have a wonderful day or night, and I will see you in my next video.